Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us and thanks for being part of our community. My name is Jason Cohen and I'll be your host for today. I'm also joined by my co-hosts Valen Kalika and Ashley Martin. A few reminders before we start. If you have issues viewing the stream at any time during the presentation and are using the web browser version of Teams, please refresh your browser. If you're using the desktop app of Teams, please exit and rejoin. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be shared publicly. We will post the recordings on our community at aka.ms/security-webinars. Closed captions in several languages are available during the live broadcast. You can enable them by clicking on the CC button located at the lower right corner of your screen. Feel free to ask questions at any time by typing them in the live event Q&A window by clicking on the Ask a Question button. Be aware that any questions you post will be publicly visible. However, if you prefer, you can post your question anonymously by checking the box right below where you enter it. If you see a question you would like to be verbalized at the end of the webinar, please give it a thumbs up, and the question with the most likes will be prioritized during Q&A. We often get many questions on these webinars, and we will do our best to respond to all of them in real time. In the event if the answer was not provided, or if you may have additional questions post this event, please don't hesitate to raise them on our Microsoft Sentinel forum at aka.ms/Microsoft Sentinel community. We love to hear your feedback on how we can improve these webinars. You can do so at aka.ms/security-webinar-feedback. And by the way, all the links that I'm announcing will be shared with you on the chat or the live event Q&A window. I would also like to invite you to join our public community by visiting aka.ms/security-community. That's the best way to ensure you don't miss any future webinars or major announcements. On our community, you can speak directly to our engineering teams that create our security products. You'll be able to influence our product designs and get early access to changes by doing things like participating in private previews at aka.ms/PRSecCom, request features, give feedback, review our product roadmaps, register for events, or join webinars like this. We believe that the best way to improve our products is by removing any barriers between you and the people that create them. We also have 2 more webinars today after this session, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint at 9 a.m. and Microsoft Defender for Cloud at 10 a.m. So we hope you'll join us. In today's session, Preeti, Krishna, and Sreedhar Ande will take us through Create Your Own Microsoft Sentinel Solutions. Preeti is a Principal Program Manager. Sreedhar is a Program Manager, both with the Microsoft Sentinel team. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to them. Preeti, Sreedhar, the floor is yours.
Cool. Thanks, Jason. And welcome all to this, and have a good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining in. So today we will be walking through how to create Azure Sentinel Solutions. So I'm just sharing my screen and we'll get going. So let's start off with what is really Microsoft Sentinel content. So it's all solutions and creating solutions and all starts with content. And when we talk about content, Microsoft Sentinel content is just SIM content that enables our customers to be able to ingest data, to be able to monitor that data using dashboards or workbooks. They're able to get insights or alerts using analytic rules. Hunting queries, notebooks, and watch lists enables you to do basic hunting and advanced hunting scenarios. And finally, playbooks, logic apps, connectors, and all helps you to investigate, remediate, and respond to these alerts and outcomes. So basically, all of these content that we are loosely calling these as Microsoft Sentinel content, they include data connectors, workbooks, parsers, analytic rules, and so on. So when you have all of these content types, they can be either, you can get them as out-of-box content, which is content that Microsoft builds, our partners build, our community builds, and all of that is accessible inside Microsoft Sentinel and available for customers to use directly or customize them as custom content. Or Sentinel also enables a platform where you can create your own content or custom content too. So out-of-box content is the focus out here, and that's where solutions enables us to tell a story of these content, disparate sources of content stitched together to fulfill an end-to-end product, domain, or a vertical scenario. So basically, what solutions are they can be packaged content, or they can be events, Microsoft Sentinel integrations, like API integrations, and these are powered by Marketplace, Azure Marketplace, and Partner Center for authoring these solutions. And they'll give you, they provide customers a way to discover these end-to-end value or content in a central manner, instead of just having a data connector or an analytic rule or a workbook. This enables you to deliver an end-to-end scenario for customers. Furthermore, it actually enables also customers to deploy these in a single step. So if I'm looking for example, Microsoft Defender solution, then in a single step, I'm able to get not only the data connector for Microsoft Defender, I can also get the workbooks for visualizing that Microsoft Defender signals. I can get analytics to get alerts on those signals. And I can also get certain hunting queries and so on, so that I can have an end-to-end scenario around Microsoft Defender integration within Microsoft Sentinel. So that's basically like the discovery deployment are key outcomes for customers from a solutions value prop standpoint. We're also working on techniques to enable and connect with Microsoft Sentinel content directly in the solution and the Content Hub experiences. And I'll also show where these solutions land in a bit too. Now, from a partner's perspective, today's session is focused heavily in this bucket where we are going to learn how to create a solution and land that in Marketplace and in Microsoft Sentinel Content Hub. So that's what our focus of the session is going to be. From a partner standpoint, you can actually deliver combined value for Microsoft Sentinel and your product integration very easily with solutions. So it is not just a table stake integration. You're able to bring in an end-to-end value within Sentinel for mutual customers. Furthermore, you're able to productize your investments in Sentinel and with this with solutions. And we're also exploring more about marketplace offerings to expand. How can you expand your customer outreach and with solutions as well? And that's something that we can all work together post this call as well. You can feel free to reach out to us, and happy to explore further on those scenarios. So these two are like future things that we're working on currently. So with that, we spoke about solutions being packaged content or integrations and all, but just wanted to get a click down in terms of some examples so that we can understand like what kind of solutions are possible. And this is not just limited to these three. If there are scenarios that you think that doesn't fit in these buckets, feel free to reach out to us. I'll also share contacts as a part of this session as we are going through on how you can reach out to us, and then we can explore other types of solutions or offerings as well. So packaged content is one classic example of solutions that we have today in Content Hub. I'll walk us through a couple of examples of that, and then we'll go through how do we build one of those as well. So packaged content examples, again, the solutions deliver end-to-end product, domain, or vertical value. What does that really mean? Is, for example, product, we looked at Azure Defender for Azure Defender solution as an example, right? It contains data connectors, workbooks, playbooks, and so on. Similarly, on a domain aspect, it is all about how can that solution deliver end-to-end security value or a threat intelligence value for a customer scenario. Or, for example, Insider's threat management package, something like that would be a domain kind of solution that may not operate on a single data source. It can operate across multiple data sources. So many of these domain kind of solutions are data source agnostic, and they have more of analytic rules and workbooks and playbooks and those kind of things, so that can deliver more of a scenario or use case kind of for customers on the domain, on specific domains. Compliance solutions, and all these are classic examples of domain solutions. Then there are industry vertical solutions, and these actually target specific requirements for customers in terms of HIPAA health package or a finance package, SOX package, and so on. And these can have a data connector or not, depending on how they are operating across different data sources. So these are like examples and how these solutions deliver different values for customers too. Similarly, the solution is not limited to packaged content. We are also exploring how to land integrations or tools as a solution as well. And similarly, they should be able to deliver product, domain, and vertical value. An example of a product integration in this scenario could be a DevOps templates solution, which can enable you to connect with, have some templates so that you can onboard into Azure DevOps and connect with Sentinel that way. Domain-based solutions could be something like an Uncoder IO from SOC Prime, which has Sigma conversion, rules conversion that can get all the queries from other SIMs into like Sentinel and Kusto language. That's an example of that. Similarly, a vertical solution could be some cloud assurance package for healthcare scenarios or so, which is more of an API integration with Microsoft Sentinel or a tool rather than packaged content. So this is yet another type of solution which can also be landed. And this is if you have some scenarios like this, please feel free to reach out to us, and we would love to explore that together with you. In the future, we're also looking at service offerings and how can we get that represented in Content Hub, and for connecting customers with different kind of service providers for MSSP kind of listing scenarios too. So that's something that we're also exploring with service offerings kind of solutions too. So ultimately, all of these solutions need to deliver product value, domain value, vertical value, industry vertical value for our SOC teams. So that's the bottom line here. So we'll be jumping into creating Microsoft Sentinel Solutions, but before just doing that, I just want to take a quick detour and just get us to like kind of show what does this really look like. So where do these solutions, how does the customer really interact with these solutions, right? And when you build and deliver these solutions, where do they usually land? So that is very important to know before we go about how do we create these. And that's where, like, let's go to Azure Microsoft Sentinel. We go to Content Hub. Content Hub is where your solutions will be displayed, and it shows up there. Today we have, so Content Hub launched just a couple of weeks ago at Ignite, and we have 94 solutions of different types that's landed out here. What the beauty of Content Hub is, it enables customers to easily discover the solutions based on their use case. So if a customer is looking for certain types of solutions with only data connector, then they can easily query by that. And if they want to look at solutions by, say, certain providers, that is possible too. Similarly, if there's categories, which is very useful too, which can help actually pivot and like kind of slice and dice this information based on certain categories. So for example, we have all these security categories and network platform and all these compliance in different categories. So if I want to look at a solution for threat protection, I can go ahead and select that in this category, and I can even select multiple categories if I want to, and be able to look at just the exact set of solutions that I want for my use case. So all of this is possible by setting the right kind of metadata as well that we'll be walking through in this session too. So with this, like, so this is how customers can easily pivot and look at some of these outcomes of what kind of solutions are there. Then basically it's all about, like, you can see what kind of what is there in each of these solutions too. Like, for example, this particular solutions includes like a couple of data connectors, a few analytic rules, parsers, playbooks, workbooks, and so on. So similarly, each solution has different types of content, and customers can go ahead and, if it's not already installed, they can install a solution. So install solution takes the customer through a kind of deployment experience. This is the single step deploy that we were talking about. A customer can see the overview, and how do you create all of this is something we'll be also walking through in this session. So let's go through the UX, and then we'll also put it in context with how to land all of these too. So you can set plans. All of these is possible, like in Microsoft Partner Center, where we can create an offer and you can set all of these information too. So then usage information and support is very important to provide support information so that customers have clarity on how to reach out in case they have questions about the solution. And customers can also even provide reviews out here. So this also provides that, and you can get direct customer feedback that way. So creating a solution, actually, this is the deployment step that goes through like ARM templates based. So customers can select the resource group, they can select a workspace, and basically go through the each wizard out here. So when we look at each of these item tabs, these are all like UX components that can be built out. And there is a packaging tool that Sreedhar will walk us through in terms of how do we build this out as well. So this UX and whatever names you want to give out here, if you don't have a data connector, you don't need to have this tab. You can just have workbooks, analytics, and other things. Suppose you have a data connected workbook, you can just, all of that flexibility is there. If there are other tabs that you don't that you need besides these, we can also do watch lists in packaging and solutions too. But if there are more beyond these, then feel free to reach out to us. We can work together on building a customized UX also. That is not that might be outside the packaging tool, but we can definitely like work together to get that through. So possibilities are limitless out here in terms of how do you want the UX to show up for customers and how that experience needs to be. So this is like an example, and we usually have the package solutions follow this so that customer consistency is there and it's easy for them to interact with these. So basically the deployment step just goes through all of this, review, create, and then create would just land all these content items that's there in the respective feature galleries. Like data connector will land in the data connector gallery, workbooks will be deployed in the workbooks, saved workbooks gallery, and so on. And customers can just go ahead and work with those content in the respective feature galleries. And yeah, so that's basically the end-to-end there. So with that context, so this is where we'll need to land the solution. And with that context, let's go ahead and see overall, like what are the steps to create these. So how to build packaged content solutions, right? The scope is packaged content. If there are API integrations and all, please reach out to us, and I'll let us know how can you reach out to us as well, and we can work together on that and landing those kind of solutions too. So it all starts with your solution value prop and scenarios. Is it a product integration that you're trying to build? Or is it a domain value that you're trying to provide? Or is it an industry vertical scenario? And once you start laying that out, you'll also see, okay, do I need an ingest mechanism? Do I need a data connector? Do I need analytics, workbooks? How can I like think through that end to end, right? That is very, very important. And not all the content types can land in one day. You can start your solution with, say, a data connector and a workbook, for example, and then keep building it out and update the solution to include more things. So this building process can be more incremental and iterative too. So don't get overwhelmed that I need to get everything in the first day of my solution launch. That's not correct. You can actually build follow an incremental approach and start putting your content together. So once you have your solution value prop scenarios and all defined out and laid out, you can start creating your content. And Sreedhar will walk us through how to really create these content pieces, like how do you build a data connector, workbook, analytics, and so on. And that goes through the Microsoft Sentinel GitHub content validation and review process. So we have automated validations in our GitHub. And that runs through Azure pipelines. So that is one way. And then there's also a review process to review the content and approve and merge those PRs. So that is the first step. Getting the content together is the first step of solution building. And there are also specifics on where you deliver the content. If it's for solutions, there is a solutions folder, and Sreedhar will walk us through that. The second part is going to be like packaging your content. Once your content is all reviewed, approved, and good to go, it's all about like how do you go about and package your solution and create your content package. And for this, actually, there is you need to also look at the user experience. We looked at the UX, right? Like the deployment wizard, where a customer can see, okay, I need, it follows data connector install is there, and then a workbooks install tab is there, and so on. Those tabs are the things that you also, if you have customized needs and all, you can reach out. Otherwise, if it's a default view, the packaging tool can actually handle all of that. So depending on the types of content you have, if you have a data connector and workbook, you can feed those information in the packaging tool with the right set of metadata, which is the category values or the provider values, support value, and so on, so that it can actually add all of the right pieces and give you the package. So the package itself gives you two things. It's the create UI definition, which is the wizard of that UX that we just looked at, and also a main template, which is basically the logic behind all these deployment steps. So if there are other pieces that needs to be included, it can be done as well within that context. So Sreedhar will also do a demo of that packaging content step as well for clarity. And then it's all about publishing solution through Partner Center. And here you can include different types of videos, images, and everything so that when the offer is created, the customer has a lot of information to understand how to do that and what to do with the solution, what does the solution offer, and so on. And we'll look at the step 2. With that, I would actually hand over to Sreedhar to walk us through how to create content and the packaging of solutions too. Sreedhar?
Sentinel GitHub repo. All of you probably might know our Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. It is a forum for all the security community members like security engineers, architects, analysts, and threat hunters. If you are not a member of this our awesome community, please join and start contributing. There are different ways to contribute. Either you can create a new content, just Preeti mentioned, either you can create a data connector, playbook, analytical rule, or threat hunting. Because the threat landscape is keep on exploring, and if you find a solution for your environment, if you think it will be benefited to the other community in our security space, you are welcome to contribute that artifact to Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. And also you can download any content from the Azure Sentinel GitHub repo and try it out on your environment. And if you find any issues, you can raise an issue. That is another way of contributing to Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. And I forgot one of the important step here. You can earn points and cool badges for all your submissions. And recently we started showing all these contributions on Microsoft portal itself. For example, if you go to your Azure Sentinel portal, if you click on community, you will see here, the top contributor of this month. Congratulations, Pimento. So like this, you can earn the points and also the badges. This is the leaderboard. And for all your submissions, we will do the PR review, and once it is approved, you will receive the points. And also if you are a top contributor, you can receive the badges also. So this is how the Azure Sentinel GitHub repo works, and we are having lots of content on Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. So coming back to our first step, to create a Microsoft Sentinel solution, you can combine a data connector or a workbook or a analytical rule or hunting query. So I would like to show you the content that we can combine in a Microsoft Sentinel solution. For example, if you have a specific use case, and if you want to bring the data from that third-party security product, if it has a API endpoint, or if it is a Ceph-based Ceph-based agent, you can create a data connector to bring the events to Azure Sentinel. And also, if you want to automate the threat response using the SOAR capability in Azure Sentinel, you can build a playbook. For example, I will walk you through a couple of steps here. For every content that we are talking about here, we have a documentation over here. So how to create a playbook. Playbook is nothing but Azure Logic App. And if you follow all these steps, you can create a logic app. For our Azure Sentinel, we have two triggers. One is when an alert is triggered, and another one is when an incident is triggered. You can create a playbook for automate the threat response. And also you can create a workbook where you can visualize the data with a rich graphical representation of your entire SOC operations. that is creating a workbook. And also you can create a analytical query and also a hunting query and parsers. Parsers are nothing but a custo functions where you can write parsers for your data that you are bringing into your log analytics workspace. And this one is a data connector. As of now here, we are showing a Ceph-based data connector here. Okay. Similarly, you can build your own data connector using Azure functions. If your third-party security product has an API endpoint, you can build a data connector using Azure functions. In today's exercise, I will walk you through one specific use case for GitHub Enterprise. Okay. For GitHub Enterprise, I have built data connector. And also I built some couple of analytical rules and also the hunting queries. Once you have all these content available, okay, then the first step you need to go here is, for example, if you have your local copy of your GitHub repo, okay, then go to your Azure Sentinel in your local drive and click on solutions, and you can start creating a folder. In my case, this is a GitHub Enterprise. In GitHub Enterprise, okay, you can start creating your content. Either it can be a data connector or a playbook or analytical rule. It does not mean that you need to have everything in a solution. It's not required. Either you can combine data connector and a playbook, or a data connector or analytical rule. For our demo purpose, I have included all the available content for a solution. So these are all the solutions that I already pushed into one of my forked repo. Okay, I will show you that fork repo here in a second. Okay, github.com, Sreedhar, Azure Sentinel. Okay, I have created a branch called solutions webinar. Give me a minute. Yeah, solutions webinar. Yeah, so this is my solutions webinar branch on my forked repo. And if I go here under solutions, okay, and search GitHub Enterprise, just like a GitHub Enterprise. Okay, this is my solution, just like analytical rules, data connectors, hunting queries, parsers, and some playbook. This is an example playbook and workbook. Okay, so exactly what I have in my local repo, the same information I already pushed into Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. So if you go back to the actual solutions readme, okay, the first step is all creating content. Okay, and coming to Azure Sentinel here, okay, solutions, I will walk you through the steps one by one, how to create a solution package and everything. Okay, so this is the step one on Microsoft Azure Sentinel Master Solutions. The first step is you can create a folder. Just as I mentioned, you can create a folder under solutions folder and put all the content, data connectors and everything. Make sure you submit the sample data in a sample data for a folder, and you need to create a PR with all your solution content. Once the PR will go to all the automated GitHub validation. Okay, and then once the PR is approved, now you can create a package from the step 2. In this step 2, we need to create a couple of JSON files in order to create a package file. So I will follow the steps one by one here. Okay, the first step here is, okay, in step 2, we need to go to the package creation tool here. So in the package creation tool, first you need to make sure you have all these prerequisites available in your PowerShell core. Your PowerShell version should be 7.1. If you are already having PowerShell 5.1, please upgrade your PowerShell and install Node.js. These are all the prerequisites to run the package solution, and also one PowerShell module, PowerShell to YAML. And if you are familiar with Visual Studio Code, you can install all these extensions in the Visual Studio Code also. So, and here I am having a cloned repo in my local drive here in GitHub Enterprise. Okay, the first step here is to create solution underscore whatever your solution name. In my case, I created solution underscore GitHub Enterprise. If you observe this JSON file, okay, here I am giving my solution name. And for example, if you are contributing, you can give the author name here and also the description. And from here, all the content you are planning to combine in a solution. For example, here under workbooks, okay, I am targeting GitHub security workbook.json, which is currently available here, workbooks, GitHub security workbook.json, and I am referencing all the analytical rules and also couple of Custo functions. Those are parsers, and these are hunting queries. And I have a data connector and one playbook. So with all this information, I created a file under input. For example, I will show you where you need to create that one. Under solutions, under Azure Sentinel, go to tools and click on create Azure Sentinel solution. Here you have a folder called input. If you go to the input, you need to create solution GitHub enterprise.json here. This is the first step we are talking about here in the package creation tool. 1 minute, let me do this one. Yeah. Sorry, it's too many. Yeah. Okay. This is the first step. Okay. You need to create a input file. I already created here. Okay. The second thing is you need to create a solution metadata file. You need to put the solution metadata file in which your solution is residing. In my case, my solution is residing in my local drive. That is a cloned repo of local drive here under solutions. Okay, GitHub Enterprise. Okay, this is my solutions metadata JSON. In this solution.metadata JSON, you can give the version number, and also you can give the offer ID, the publisher ID, okay, and also the categories, domains and verticals. I will show you those domains and verticals here, okay. If you go here in this documentation, okay, here we have defined the domain categories for identify your solution easily. These are the category names for your solution. You can come here and verify what category that your solution can be applied to. For my solution, the category I gave here is, as I am trying to interact with GitHub, okay, one of the category I gave here is security threat protection, okay, and also DevOps. This is one of the category name. And also I gave another security threat protection. These are the two categories I added to my solution metadata. The solution metadata will help you to identify or filter your solution in the Content Hub very easily. After creating these two JSON files, the first JSON file is solution GitHub Enterprise, and you need to refer your GitHub solution, your GitHub location. In my case, my GitHub solution is sitting under solutions webinar branch under my fork. Okay, Sreedhar Ande, this is my forked Azure Sentinel GitHub repo. So I am giving the same path as a base path. Once you create these two solutions, okay, we need to navigate back to our GitHub solution here, okay? And now we need to run this PowerShell script, okay, to create the content. As I mentioned, you need to run this solution in PowerShell core. Here I am already in the branch, so I just want to run this create solution.ps1. 1 minute. 1 minute. Have something. GitHub Enterprise. Okay. cd cd ls. See here, when I ran the create solution, okay, it is downloading the first step it did. Okay, it is generating the workbook JSON. It downloaded the workbook JSON, and also it downloaded all the analytical rules. I have 3 analytical rules. It downloaded all the 3 analytical rules and all the hunting queries. Okay, and now it is downloading the playbooks. The playbook has a ARM template, Azure deploy.json, and it also created a file for data connector. So now the package is successfully created. If you go back to your local repo here, okay, you will see a folder, a new folder called package. For example, if you are familiar with GitHub, okay, if you say git status, okay, you will see a new folder created under your solutions GitHub Enterprise /package. So this is the package. So in this package, you will get one zip folder and one create UI definition.json, and this is the main ARM template, main template.json. So now go back to our generate solution package. In the step 2, we have a Azure toolkit validation also available. For that, you need to create another repo. So I am skipping this step to save some time. I want to do a manual validation here by going create UI sandbox.json. When you click on this one, create sandbox UI.json here, okay, and go back to your local drive package where the tool created create UI definition.json. Open the file. Okay, just I am opening everything in a notepad++. Okay, just format the JSON file, copy the entire JSON, Control C, and go back to your UI definition.json. As I mentioned, I am testing my solution package manually using create UI definition.sandbox. Okay, delete this one and paste your created file. Okay, click on preview. So if you observe here, whatever the content I defined in my local drive, the everything came here. For example, see here, I have one data connector. Yes, the data connector came. I have two parsers. If you see here in my GitHub Enterprise, okay, see the parsers. I have two parsers. The two parsers came here, okay, and I have one workbook. The workbook came 3 analytical rules, hunting queries 9, and playbooks 1. So all the content I have combined into a one solution package. If you see here, you can go through all these tabs, okay, and analytical queries. See, 3 analytical queries are available, and these are 9 hunting queries available, and these are the playbook. For the playbook is not relevant to GitHub, for just for demo purpose, I added one playbook here. So this is how you need to create a package for your solution. Do you have any questions here up to here on creating a solution package or anything? And our third step is, okay, publish a solution. So I will give back the screen to Preeti to show how to publish this solution.
Awesome. Thanks, Sreedhar. And great questions, all of you. So please keep the conversation going. I'll also paste out where you can reach out to us and also show you where in the documentation as well you can reach out to us in case you have specific requirements for your solutions or custom requirements for solutions. So so yeah, I'm from the product team and for Microsoft Sentinel and looking into Content Hub as well as solutions experiences, both from a customer and partner perspective. So please feel free to reach out to the alias as well as you can reach out directly to me as well. So with that, actually, let's move to the publish solution step. So you did look into like Sreedhar walked us through how to create the content, get it into for review, how the validation of the content happens, and also how to package these solutions and deliver it in the GitHub repo. So there is some versioning aspects also to the solutions which you can go through. We usually follow a 3-digit pattern, the major, minor, and rev that you can apply to your solutions as well, just so that you can track like updates. It has to be always like higher versions for the future updates. That's how it goes. And we have some schematics in terms of how do you really like version your solution updates to. So it is very important to have the right format versioning so that when update happens and the customer takes those updates, they are able to move ahead and the solution really ends up updating the content, everything together. If it's a lower version, it won't work out, and actually you won't be able to upload the package in Partner Center too. So there's a check there. So always keep on increasing the versions, and there are some guidelines. If it's a minor revision, just increase the third digit, or if it's like a minor update, then go ahead to the second, and if it's a major update, then just do a major the first digit revision as well. So with all of that, let's move to publish solution. So publishing solution happens, it's powered by Microsoft Partner Center. So primarily the way that goes is if you are a first time publisher, there are steps to create a Partner Center account. And this is how there is a link to these steps. All of this is very well documented in the GitHub repo. So feel free to go through these and register. This registration is just a one-time activity for your company. So you get a unique publisher ID and you get access to the Partner Center. So once you have access to the Partner Center after registration and all, this is how Partner Center looks like. So you can go to commercial marketplace and you can create your new offer. The offer is basically each solution is one offer kind of a thing. So if you go to a new offer creation, you'll select Azure application for the solutions that we are building and landing currently for Microsoft Sentinel. If you have a request for any other type of offers, reach out to me, reach out to the alias, and we will actually we learn from that and we can explore in terms of how to unlock those scenarios too. So Azure application is the type of solution that we have throughout in Content Hub today. And that's what we'll go through as well today. So create a new offer, select that, and then have a few solutions created already that I can walk us through here. So if we click on one of these, you will be able to, okay. Didn't expect that to come up, but anyways, you'll be able to see the properties that you set. So once you actually select one of those for an empty solution, you will actually, this is the solution development lifecycle, the publishing lifecycle to say. So after you have the package and everything ready, or even during the package creation process itself, you can start this process. If you haven't registered yet, then in my partner center, start that process even before. I mean, that way, then you can parallel task some of these streams of effort too. So just a quick tip there. So when you start your new solution, you will be here actually. You'll be just in the initial stage of package configuration and all those steps. So you'll first have to go ahead and create your offer setup. So all of these steps are also documented with links to Partner Center and with screenshots in the GitHub. I'll just walk us through these. You set up a solution alias, and you can even like set up some customer leads if you want to configure those. Then there are certain properties you can set for your solution. And this is where like inputs from your marketing and all will also help. Like how do you want to categorize your solution? There are different categories, security, identity, and also you can select some of those. These are marketplace categories. So this is in addition to the metadata properties that Sreedhar walked us through, because those metadata properties are very important to land these kind of insights and for the filtering and these kind of the categorization, the category filtering, the metadata in the package is very important. And in addition, this is another set of metadata that you can set for your solution publish itself so that it's more discoverable in marketplace as well, in addition to Content Hub. So that's why these properties are also set. And then they usually line up with the other properties that you set in metadata categories too. Then there is the offer listing part, which is where all the marketing inputs and all can be helpful here. So usually the publish is done by a program manager, product manager, marketing manager. That it's a business role that usually publishes so that you can provide a lot of details and documentation in terms of how you want to surface your product in Microsoft Sentinel. So there's a description. This is what renders all of these information. So when we looked into, so let's look at one of these solutions, right? Let me just do an install here. So all of this information, right, it's coming in directly from here. So you can format, you can do links, you can do a lot of things here. You can put pictures, and that's what these pictures are all about. So these pictures and media and all is you can upload it directly here. So there was, yeah, marketplace media. You can put your logos, screenshots. You can even put videos out here too. So it is pretty good. You can even do like different types of videos for like promoting your product and all those kind of things too. So think through and definitely like plan something nice out here, definitely for your customers, mutual customers. So search keywords are very, very important. This is particularly this GUID, and this GUID is well documented here in this step out here, how to set this search keyword. It's very important to set this because this is how we'll be able to display your solution in Content Hub out here. So if you want to see a solution here, please ensure that you are setting this GUID, and any additional keywords that you deem necessary can be done too. So then there is the support and listing information, a lot of links, whatever you want to set there. For different solutions, it's going to be different. Support contact information for your company and engineering contacts and so on is other information that you can set. If you plan to do a limited preview with just a few customers, you can set this up. We usually run a private preview program, so you can skip this step. It depends upon how you're running this, and if you have specific questions, reach out and we are happy to help you there. Then there is the technical configuration piece, which is not too much of updates there. Plan overview is another piece where you can create your own plans. And this is a solution template plan. And basically like what is availability, its scope and all. So usually the solution needs to be publicly available and pushed out live so that it can go through certification process. And then there are a few more settings if you want to set those up, the CSP settings and all. We're exploring more of the CSP settings at this point. So stay tuned, we'll share more on that later. So with all of this, then once you go ahead and push your solution live, it actually starts the marketplace certification process. So once it goes through all of these, each step has like kind of SLAs also from Partner Center. So you can accordingly plan ahead or before in terms of how much time you want to set for each of these stages. Certification takes up to 7 business days. Usually in the queue, we pick up things across with other Azure teams as well. And this is the step is where like we'll check for all of this information, the GUID and all from a Sentinel Solutions context. And within this step, it can be pushed back for further updates, or it can move ahead depending on whether certification passes or not. After certification, pretty much your solution will show up in Azure Marketplace, as well as the Content Hub as well. If you set the keywords right, then you should be able to see this in the Content Hub, else and in Marketplace as well, Azure Marketplace too. So you can see all of the information where you are at. Always push to go live. That is very, very important. This is your offer ID, and you will have your publisher ID as well, and plan ID. Usually it'll be good to send that out to us, to the team, and all the alias for the team. And each of these steps that we walk through is all out here. How do you validate and test your offer? And all those steps are out here. And this is the Azure Sentinel Solutions onboarding team. Please feel free to reach out to us in case you have any questions or unique needs for your solution, and we'll be happy to help you there. And this link is there in the docs. Very, very like a lot of times we are referencing this. So if you have unique solution needs, custom requirements, if you're publishing a solution for Microsoft Sentinel, reach out to us and we'll help you get onboarded. And that's pretty much like what we had to cover today in terms of the end-to-end. Create your content, package your content, and then go ahead and publish the solution in Partner Center. There are step-by-step instructions for each of these. And look forward to seeing your solutions for Microsoft Sentinel pretty soon, so that we can deliver that combined value to all our customers. So thanks a lot for joining in, and we're happy to take any questions that's there.
Great. Yeah, thank you. We have 2 unanswered questions. The first one is, can managed services offers be included in solutions that appear in Content Hub?
So yes, we are actually exploring some of those cases. So please feel free to reach out to me or the Sentinel onboarding team, and I'm a part of that as well, a part of the PG. So I'll be able to pick that up. I've also, I think I responded to that question with my email alias too. So you can reach out to me as well directly, and happy to take that up.
Great. Next one is it possible to create a solution to add a client's tenancy into Azure Lighthouse?
That's again something to explore. We haven't done that yet in any of the solutions that we have. I don't think it's not possible, because everything is ultimately, as we all saw, it's all ARM based. So as long as there is an ARM ARM API available to connect, yeah, it should be possible technically to include that in the tenant and all. That said, there is the experience aspect of things, and that's where we can explore this a bit more and understand what you're trying to do, and happy to take that up. Please reach out to me or to the onboarding alias. I'm also pasting that onboarding alias as an announcement in this, so that if you have any such scenarios, we can explore those together. The solutions journey has just started, so we're all learning together here, and happy to unblock any kind of scenarios that you may have.
Great. That's it. Thank you, Preeti and Sreedhar, for being our guests today and for an excellent presentation. And thank you to the rest of the team who helped answer questions. At the same time, I would like to remind the listeners that the best way to ensure you don't miss any future webinars or major announcements is to visit our landing page at aka.ms/securitycommunity. And while there, you'll find easy ways to navigate and find the resources and learning content relevant to our security products in their communities. A good start would be browsing our bite-sized product videos, ninja trainings, recordings of past webinars, GitHub communities, and more. We love to hear your feedback on how we can improve these webinars. Please take a minute submitting your webinar feedback at aka.ms/security-webinar-feedback. A quick reminder to check out our 2 other webinars today after this session, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint at 9 a.m. and Microsoft Defender for Cloud at 10 a.m. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.